And I do notice that much of the criticism, in fact, the lion's share of it, Doctor, comes from those who work with you in the Trump administration. Peter Navarro actually went so far as to say you were the father of COVID. Lindsey Graham, last night saying that it was important for you to get down to the border and see the super spreader event that's going on there. What do you think of all of that? These are largely coming from Republicans who have serious animus toward some of the things that you recommend and say, and maybe just you, period.
You know, Neil, I've become sort of, for some reason or other, a symbol to them of what they don't like about anything that has to do with things that are contrary to them, anything outside of their own realm. It's a little bit bizarre, I would say. I mean, Lindsey Graham, who I like, he's a good person. I've dealt with him very, very well, over the years. Equating me with things that have to do at the border. I mean, I have nothing to do with the border. Peter Navarro saying I created the virus. I mean, how bizarre is that? I mean, think about that, Neil, for a second. I mean, is that a little weird? I mean, come on.
I think what Lindsey Graham was getting, other than mention this, because of the COVID spread at the border with all of these thousands who've been crammed in there, that maybe someone with your expertise should be down there just to monitor how worrisome a situation this is. Do you think it's a worrisome situation? Do you think it could be a super spreader event?
I mean, obviously, it is a very difficult situation at the border. We all know that. The administration is trying as best as they can to alleviate that situation. I mean, having me down at the border, that's really not what I do, Neil. You know what I do. I develop vaccines. I develop countermeasures. I mean, having me at the border, I don't know why they're saying I should be at the border any more than someone who has experience in those types of things. So it's really
worried, I guess, about the virus spread there, or whether that's something we should monitor, whether it's something that maybe we've lost sight of forget about just the throngs who have gotten there, but how this could lead to a spread of the virus.
Obviously, this is of concern to the administration. I mean, the president himself has expressed that. We don't want people to be coming over the border. I mean, when unaccompanied children do, they come under the auspices of HHS. When migrants enter, they come under the auspices of ICE. They're tested to the extent possible. If they're positive, they're quarantined. That's what I know about it. No one is denying that it is not a difficult problem at the border. I just was a little bit concerned when people equate what I do with the border. I mean, I don't know the reason for the animus, but I'm really not quite sure. And quite frankly, Neil, I am so busy trying to do some important things to preserve the health and the safety of the American people that I can't be bothered with getting distracted with these people that are doing these ad hominems again. It doesn't bother me. You brought it up. It's one of those things that, if they want to do that, let them do it. I have more important things to do than worry about that.